have a collect call from. Press 1 to accept charges. Hey guys, you are tuned in to Press 1 Podcast. I'm your host, the Queen Carter, and today I got a special guest by the name of The Lion. How you doing, The Lion?
I'm great.
So how's your day going today?
Well, I mean, I can't complain. This has been a blessed day overall. Could be a little better, but the heat kind of like...
Oh, yes, the heat is outrageous.
Right.
Yes. So how did you get the name The Lion?
Oh, that's a boxing name that I received in prison. The lions are the king of the jungle, and our boxing team were the Ring Kings, and they decided to change the mascot to the lion.
Okay.
And they changed the whole perception of it and they had it as the Lion's Den. And by me being the best boxer in Hunt at that time, they was like, well, we're gonna give him the name The Lion. Okay. So yeah,
that's creative. So let's go back a little bit. So you're from
Harvey,
Louisiana. Harvey, Louisiana.
Yes.
How was it growing up in Harvey for you?
Growing up in Harvey, it was a very, very tumultuous environment. It's very, very tumultuous. A lot of things going on in the community, as far as like killing, drug dealing, and stuff like that. So the normal. Yeah.
So you were in like the projects in Harvey?
No. Actually, I was raised in Woodmere.
Oh, Woodmere.
Yeah, Woodmere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Horrible.
I know.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So the environment is horrible, right? But also like the police presence. And was it like the same back then as it is today?
Well, actually, back then the police weren't so active back there. There was so much going on. Yeah. So they wasn't active. But now, I mean, I don't know how it is now.
Yeah. I mean, people hate to drive through there, like West Wego, West Wego, Gretna. People hate driving through Gretna.
Definitely. Yeah.
So Woodmere is kind of like in the West Wego area. So, I don't really go through Woodmere much, but yeah, I could imagine. So how many siblings do you have?
I have 6 siblings, 5 on earth, 1 is deceased.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Were they involved in like a shooting, killing, or just
No, actually, the house that I grew up in Woodmere, 3721 Max Drive, the year 2002, January the 7th, a car ran into the house.
Oh, wow.
And my sister was trapped up under the car, so that's how she was killed.
Oh, how old was she?
She was 19.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, she was very young.
Right.
So, did you grow up in a 2-parent home?
2-parent household.
Yeah.
My mother and father was together 45 years and married 43 before my mother transitioned in 2018.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. But that's a beautiful thing. So, how was it like for you growing up and going to school and just like how was your childhood?
Perfect.
Yeah.
My childhood, I mean, I say it all the time. A lot of people would always look at me and still be in a state of shock, like how my life turned out, which I made my own decisions because I was raised in a 2-parent household. At the time, my mother was making this was in the 90s, was making like $18 an hour. My daddy was making like $20-something an hour. So between those two, with the money combined, it was like $40-something dollars an hour, and we got everything we wanted. Yeah, like for shoes, clothes, game systems. We didn't have to go without. Yeah, and it was beautiful. Being raised in a 2-parent household with all your siblings, building that bond every day. Yeah, it was great.
Where do you feel like it started to go wrong for you?
When I was 13 years old. Yeah, I was 13 years old, and I remember. I was playing football for Monroe Middle, and they had this girl, I'm not going to say her name. She was liking on me, and she used to always like try to give herself to me. But I was flatly refusing it all the time. Yeah. And one day I decided to just, I bit the bait. Yeah. And we wind up doing it in the school, in the auditorium room. Oh, wow. And my football coach caught me. And when he caught me, he was kind of upset because we had a football game, and I told him I had left my pads for my tugs in the locker room, and I said I'll be right back. I was taking too long, of course. Of course, yeah. So he caught us, and it was crazy. He didn't want to put it out there to embarrass me or the girl. So he kind of like swept it under the rug, but he did call my dad. He called my dad and told my dad what had happened. So from that point, my dad began to treat me as if I was grown.
Yeah.
Since I thought I was grown, since I lost my innocence at the age of 13, I didn't have that to do.
Did you lose to her? That was your first time?
Yes.
Okay.
So
was it her first time?
No.
Okay.
No. I think she was seasoned.
Yeah.
But the crazy part about it, every Wednesday when my dad would get paid, he would give the 4 little ones. We was the 4 little ones. It's 6 of us. I have an oldest brother and an older sister, but the 4 little ones was my sister Garrow, my deceased sister Annie, my brother Gary, and me. He would give us $100 every Wednesday. Yeah. That would be our allowance, right? So when that happened to me, when I got caught in doing it with the girl at the auditorium, in our auditorium room, he came. I'll never forget this. He came that following Wednesday, and he gave my sister her $100. He gave my other sister her $100. Gave my brother his $100, and I had my hands out because I was always spoiled. I'm the last child, and I was like, "Dad, what about mine?" He said, "Oh, you don't get no more allowance." He said, "Since you want to do manly things and act like as if you're a man, I'm gonna treat you like a man." He gave me $10.
Yeah.
He gave me $10. So I'm looking at him like, "Dad, are you serious?" He gave me the $10, and I was thinking like, I'm Rock. Everybody know when I come back to school on Friday, I'm gonna have a fresh pair of tennis. I have to continue this cycle.
Yeah.
People are gonna be ridiculing me and all that in school. So I took the $10, went to my partner, and I said, "Listen, man, flip these $10." He said, "Man, Miss Sharon and Mr. Gary ain't gonna kill me."
Yeah.
And he flipped the $10, and I made like $150 off of what he got me, and it was on from there.
Yeah. Damn. So you turned to a man.
I turned to a man.
Auditorium to a man.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah.
So, how was it for you, like, playing sports after getting caught in the auditorium? Because I know your coach probably had, like, a different energy with you, or...
Well, no, he kept it professional.
Okay.
Like I said, he swept it under the rug. He didn't really want to talk about it or touch bases on it anymore. But it was just like, because I was real good in football.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, you screwed me. I can't believe you done that.
Yeah.
So, and I still continued on. I finished the season off, and then I went on playing basketball for the school. But it was like I lost my innocence. So sports at that particular moment wasn't even on my mind. I wasn't like locked in as I should have at that age. Because
Yeah. So you said Rock. I heard that name with you before. Is that another like name they call you?
Well, that's the original nickname that my mother gave me from birth. Because I came out, I was maybe like 9 pounds 8 ounces, like 21 inches.
Okay.
I was rock solid.
Oh, okay.
So I'm solid as a rock. That's how I get that name.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So after he flipped your $10, you said you had the $150. So did you start getting involved with like being in the streets, or did you kind of just have a way to like give him stuff to flip for you?
Well, it was actually me. It was all my wrongful doing.
Okay.
And it became repetitive on my end. But then, after a while, I was like, my mother then went to asking questions.
Yeah.
Where you getting money to get this from? And I would always use my partner. God bless the dead. He's dead right now. His name Marlon Turner. He was killed 2007. And my mom would always ask me, like, where are you getting this money from to continue on buying these things? Because your dad is no longer giving you the allowance. But me, the person that I am, I'm a good thinker. And I used to be like, well, Marlon bought me this. He said if I score this amount of points in a basketball game, he would buy this for me. And I knew that they wasn't going to go back and ask him about the situation. So I got away with it for a while until I got tired of it. I got tired of like lying to my parents. So I was like, you know what, let me get away from this.
Yeah. So was he like the same age as you, or?
No, actually he was a little older.
Yeah. I could imagine.
He was like the big homie in the hood. Yeah.
So when did you have your first like interaction with the law, like police?
I was 18 years old. 18 years old.
So you had a good run from 13 to 18. You kind of stayed out of trouble.
Because I was in and out. I was in and out.
Okay.
But I went to. See, I got busted with marijuana in 2003, right before my oldest child was born.
Okay.
So it was like the beginning. I think it was like February or something of 2003. My daughter was born in September of 2003.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you said you got busted with marijuana?
Yeah, in 2003.
How did that happen?
Well, I was in the front, and I'm telling my partner, I'm like, listen, let's go inside, man. I said, because it's on a Tuesday. You know, they say Tuesdays and Thursdays you have to watch for the sweep because the police are always coming, you know. So
Okay.
I'm like, man, let's go. He was like, yeah, let's go. I'm going to go this way. So, no, I'm going this way. And I should have went the way he went. Because I went the opposite direction and the police pulled up on me.
Yeah. So you was driving?
No, I was actually walking because the street that I was raised on is called Max Drive. So the house I just walked down the street to my house, but everything would go on in the front on Longleaf.
Okay.
That's what we said. That's where everything used to, go on at. So, yeah.
So you got busted. You had a lot of weed on you, or just like smoking around?
No, I mean 18s or some bags.
Yeah.
I had maybe like 40 bags, 40 bags of marijuana.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, at that time, $10 bags, stuff like that.
Okay, so they pulled up on you. They arrest you.
Well, actually, yeah, they apprehended me, and they told me I was going to jail. I said, okay.
Yeah.
I already knew my mama, the house number and the cell phone number by heart, so when I went to jail, I just ended up calling and saying, Mom, I'm in jail. I'm in Jefferson Parish.
So was that like a huge surprise for her, or were you already kind of like out and about and she kind of figured you was doing something?
My mother was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
She was upset. She was crying on the phone. It was like, I cannot believe you. This is just embarrassing. So I'm like, it's life.
Yeah. So you was nonchalant about it?
At that moment.
Yeah.
At that moment.
So what was your first thoughts, like getting in the back of the police car, going to jail? You just didn't like take it serious?
Well, I'm under the old saying, what they used to always say, like, you made your bed, you have to live in it. So it was just like, okay, this is the life you chose. This is what comes with it. So I guess I was just preparing myself for whatever there is to come, like, after that. So
your mom bonded you out?
No, actually, I OR on reconnaissance because it was a misdemeanor. Yeah, so I stayed in there maybe like a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was that, like, going to jail, getting out, and then when was your next, like, interaction with the police?
Yeah, my next interaction with the law was 2006. 2006.
And then how was that?
Well, it's crazy. I mean, I can say all this now because,
you don't have to go too
lifestyle.
deep either, yeah.
But I used to be a big-time dope dealer, right? So, and I had this thing that after 10 o'clock p.m., not serving anything, not leaving and going nowhere to serve nobody. But on this particular night, I received a phone call, and they was telling me what they had wanted. And the only thing I was thinking about the money that was involved. This is $10,500 involved.
Oh, then.
Yeah, so I went against what I stood on, right? And ended up bring them the product, getting the money, and then got busted right afterwards.
Yeah.
I busted. Leaving from dropping what I dropped off to them.
Yeah.
So
what exactly did they bust you with?
When I
dropped it off?
Well, I'm glad I didn't get busted what I dropped off.
Yeah.
But I got busted with 2 guns. One of them was legally possessed by me. Cocaine, marijuana, crack.
You had a lot there.
Yeah.
What area was you in?
I got busted in Gretna.
Oh.
An area I normally would never go in. Yes.
And how old were you at that time?
I was 21.
Okay.
I was 21.
So you're 21, you get busted with all that. You go to jail.
Bonded out.
Yeah, bonded out. And then how was like the whole court process and all that?
Well, I fought the charge for maybe a year. Maybe about 14 months. I had my lawyer name was Martin Reagan. May Allah bless his soul. Yeah, he charged me $10,000.
Yeah.
He charged me $10,000 to take the case, and I fought the charge for maybe like 14 months. And on the day that I was supposed to go to trial, my co-defendant was he was going to testify against me. So I was forced to take time.
So where did you get a co-defendant from? Like the weapon?
No, he was with me.
Oh,
He was in a vehicle with me. So he was in a vehicle with me. So, he was basically getting on the stand and say, hey, listen.
Yeah.
None of this was mine. It was all his.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
Dang. It was a close friend or just?
A close friend.
Yeah.
Real close friend. Yeah.
So how did that whole process go? So you said he was about to get on the stand and all that, but
it was about to get on the stand. So and I knew something wasn't right because when I walked in the courthouse, I seen him and I spoke to him. He didn't speak back, and my lawyer was coming out of the chambers with the DA and his lawyer. He was like, "Hey man, you can't speak to such and such." I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, he's choosing to testify against you." I'm like, "What?"
yeah,
He's like, "So," I said, "Well, how much time is on the table?" He said, 5 years. I said, "How much time I do?" He said, "Man, about 27 months." I said, "Give it
yeah. Oh, so you took 27 months.
27 months, yeah.
Damn. So how old was your child at the time?
At that time, I had 2 children. My oldest daughter, when I took the time in 2007, so she was going on 4. And my other daughter, my daughter Kanaya, she was 3.
Okay.
Something like no, I'm sorry, she was 1. She was going on 1. She was going on 1 years old. Yeah, she was one of those 6, August 8th.
Yeah.
She about to be 18.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday to her. So, you took the time, and so he didn't have to testify, right? Because you kind of plead out.
Yeah, I pleaded out, so he didn't have to testify.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you go to jail right away, or did you have to like turn yourself in?
No, they didn't give me no time. I told them, I said, "Hey man, this is what I have going on." At the time, my girlfriend was pregnant with my son.
Yeah.
She was pregnant with my son. So I'm like, "Listen, I have to put this money. I need to do this. I'm telling my lawyer, I need to do this. I need to do this. You know, I have a baby on the way. My girlfriend is pregnant. Can I get at least 30 days?" They was like, "No." In the court section that I was in with Melvin Zeno, Division P at the time. And it's crazy because his son played football with my brother. Like, we know him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to give me time on the street. It was like, you take time in the court. If you agree to the plea bargain today, your time starts. So,
Yeah. So you had to go in right then and there.
right then and there.
So was your baby mothers in court and your children and all that, or
No,
your family?
actually, I didn't want to put that. It was like too strenuous on them. I didn't want to put that because that was her first pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want. I wanted her to be away from that. Like, let me tell you, I'm gonna take care of this. You just focus on focus on what's important.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Was your mom there? Your family?
my mother was there. My aunt, my uncle, and I think my friend, one of my friends was there. It was a horrible experience.
What was their like reaction?
Crying.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was crying because it's like Rock.
Exactly.
Like Rock really about to go away for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
So you got 5 years and then 28 months, like, good time?
Well, they gave me a 5-year sentence, and you only do a certain percentage of the time. So I only had to do like 27 months and 5 days to be exact.
Yeah.
That's what I done.
So how are you feeling at that moment, going into?
It was just like, hey man, this comes with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's consequences. Just like when there's a cause, there is an effect.
Yeah.
It's consequences. So I knew everything that I was doing. That one day it will probably lead up to this, and I was like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Go do the time. You do the crime, you do the time.
Exactly. So where did you serve your time?
Jose, I first went to LaSalle up north, and then I went to Clinton, and then Marksville, then Bonke, then Hunt, then Winfield, and went to DCI, and then I discharged from DCI.
Wow. Why they transfer you so much?
Well, I got transferred from LaSalle because I beat a guy up, and I had just got up there, so I beat the guy up so bad, so they sent me away. You're a problem. No, you got to go. And I went to Clinton. When I went to Clinton, they sent me to a work release facility, and they didn't have a spot for me, so they wound up sending me to Marksville. Stood in Marksville for a few months, beat a guy up over there. Then they sent me to Bonke, the work release. Yeah. So I was at work release for a good little while. Got knocked off messing with not actually messing with a free. Well, they classify them as free women, but the girl was working where I was working at.
Oh, okay.
So I was working at Louisiana Hardwood. I forgot what part of Louisiana that was, but the girl was a security there. She was loving on me, so I'm free, but I'm not free. And they wound up knocking me off of that and sent me to Hunt, And Elaine Hunt sent me to Winfield, and Winfield sent me to DCI.
Okay. So, were you getting a lot of visitation from your family and friends when you were locked up?
Let me see. Not my first prison stint, because I was 5 and 6 hours away, and I didn't really care about visitation. I wasn't focused on it.
Yeah.
My main focus was like trying to basically get myself together to try to figure things out in the prison system, because this was my first time going upstate. So I was more like locked in of what's going on, like what are they doing? This is not what I want to do. I'm not doing that. I'm not hanging with these type of people. So I was more like locked in with that. I didn't care about anything, because I went there when I had to turn myself in. I had turned myself in with money. So then I just put it on my book. So I didn't care about none of that. I just was focusing on paying attention to what's going on in prison, because I had heard a lot about prison.
Exactly.
I heard a lot about prison, but prison is nothing what you hear. Nothing what you hear, nothing what you see on TV.
What's like a few examples?
Like a lot of stuff that be going on in prison. When you see stuff like in movies about guys getting raped and all these things, none of that go on. None of that's going on like that.
I always ask guests that too. Like most people say, like, if people do that free will, like if they want to live that lifestyle, and it ain't like you're gonna be asleep and wake up. And
right. It's not like that. People just. You have some guys in prison that are strong-minded, strong-willed, and you have some guys that are in prison just weak. And when you weak, you beat. Yeah. Especially when you're a person that fears a lot of things and actually can't think for yourself. That's how it happens most of the time. But it's nothing. People perceive the way that people perceive of prison. It's nothing like that.
What about religion-wise? Like, did you turn to, like, are you a religious person, or did you turn to a religion?
I'm very, very religious. I grew up in church. I grew up in a church. I was singing in a choir. I served on the usher board. I used to teach Sunday school for the youth. Yeah. That's the type of household I was raised in. But when I went to prison, the first time I was away from the spiritual thing. Because a lot of stuff, like I said, I pay attention to what's going on. I see what's going on with people using this up to do this and stuff like that. So I was away from it. But I'm still spiritual now, but I'm Muslim. Yeah. I'm Muslim. So and I got into Islam the second time I went did time. Okay. That's when I did the 8.5 years. Yeah.
So you get out, you're like 23, 24?
I was 24.
24? Okay. So how was it with your child being born while you were in prison? Like, how was that for you mentally?
I used to be thinking like, man, I have to get out. Yeah. Because, I used to always, I'm on the phone with my oldest son's mother, and we just talking. She's letting me know everything that he's doing, everything about him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't wait to get out there. I can't wait to get out there. So it was just like a learning experience. And I'm like, man, a child was really born while I was in prison. Do I ever want to experience this again? Exactly. I didn't want to experience it again. Yeah. I had no plans on experiencing it again. So, but it was relatively difficult.
Was your family involved with helping her?
Yes. They was involved, but they wasn't involved as they should have. Okay. Because my people is like, my little brother, my brother, my nephew, anybody, he not here. Let him deal with it when he get home.
Oh, okay. So. Was she involved with your family before you went in?
Well, yes, she was involved with them, all the time. Yeah, all the time she was. But maybe when I went to prison, she was kind of distanced for a reason. It's like a sort of embarrassment. Her significant other's in prison. She has to have this baby, stuff like that.
But I'm sure you had it taken care of, right? Like she was taken care of. Yeah. I wouldn't be that embarrassed, but hey. So you get out. You're 24, and how was that for you getting out? Like I'm sure you probably had made some goals. Like were you like I'm not hustling no more, or were you just like you going back to the streets?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. It was like I wasn't one of those prisoners that first time that was saying that. Oh man, I'm not going out here and do this. I'm going to get me a job. And on my mind it was, before I went to jail, I had money. and I'm going back to the same thing. I just have to do it differently. That was my mind. I'm not going to sit up in, because some people go up in there and be like, oh man, I promise you, they'll grab the Bible and get very religious. They'll get very religious and they'll be saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And they turn right back to go and do the same thing. So I wasn't playing with the Bible or playing with God like that, because I already knew that, okay, as soon as I get out, I'm not going to do it immediately. I'm going to chill for a little while, but I'm going to get back active.
Was your main goal like, well, I'm not going to just be around nobody since your co-defendant, like, try to, rat on you?
But just doing things differently, not putting myself in a situation for someone to even get that opportunity to rat on me again. But I tell you this. Now, I did. When I came home, I was home maybe about 4 months. I only stayed home 9 months. I stayed home 9 months. It's crazy. But maybe about 4 months, I was chilling, and spending time with my kids and stuff like that. And a lot of people know this. You don't know, but I used to hang out with Chris Paul.
The basketball player?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's crazy. Before I went back to prison, I was in the arena with him for 22 hours. It was 2 days. Altogether, it was 22 hours. And I was his double in a commercial. It was a right guard commercial.
Yeah.
I was his double. I played as Chris Paul. Never even got a chance to receive my money or nothing. Because I got busted again.
How much money you missed out on?
It was like 11,000 and something.
Dang.
It was like 11th. I never even got a chance, but I know that promotional company, Snuggers or something like that. And I remember I'm coming for y'all.
Lawsuit coming. So, so you got out and you kind of just went back to the streets, but it seemed like you still was doing some things positive. You got the commercial thing going, or y'all was just cool, and that was just like. Well,
actually, I was because I'm real good in basketball too, and we had a basketball game, and they had this guy. He was there fuming, and he was there fuming the games because he needed, they had this commercial coming up. And when he seen me, he pulled me to the side after the game. He was like, man, you just scored 52 points. I can't believe it. I said, how you know? He said, I was counting them. He said, you got the perfect bill. But it was like me and like 5 other guys. So he had us dribbling the ball and talking and stuff like that. And he said, man, I'm going to forward this to the production company and see what they say. And they wound up reaching out to me and a few more other guys, and we went on from there.
Yeah. So you never thought about like just changing your lifestyle after experiencing something like that?
I never even got an opportunity.
Yeah. So you got busted after doing that?
Literally. Yeah. Listen, I was in the arena with Chris Paul that what it was, that Friday and Saturday, that Sunday, I was like, this is real. I can't believe I just had this opportunity.
Yeah. Monday
I was busted.
Yeah. So what were you doing?
Selling drugs.
Yeah. Like, where were you? They came to your door?
I had just pulled up by my mother. Just pulled up by my mother. Went inside. Go upstairs. And then it's crazy, let me backtrack. I was with, it wasn't a Friday and a Saturday. It was a Thursday and a Friday, because that Saturday my brother got married and I had to witness him get married. So, and then that Sunday I chilled that Sunday, and that Monday I was busted. It was crazy. It was crazy.
So your mom was home, you was upstairs.
My mother was home. My dad was home. My nephews was over there. My brother-in-law was over there. And the only thing I can remember is someone calling me to telling me what they had wanted, and I'm getting it out for them, and boom, Jefferson Parish Police Department.
Yeah.
That's all I heard. And it was crazy. So, and I knew that I didn't stay there, and it kind of like, I was like so upset when I seen the guy, the police officer, not gonna put his name on camera, as I should do. But he put the gun to my head, and I was telling him, like, listen, like I'm not convicted or nothing like that. I mean, y'all busted me, but you're not gonna tell me what not to say or what to say out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And the only thing I was telling him is that, why y'all handcuffing my mother to her oxygen machine? I'm like, y'all taking her to prison? Y'all taking her to jail too? There was like everybody was. I said, no. I said, if y'all find anything in here, it doesn't matter if it's a body. I'm gonna take all charges.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing my mother to jail.
Of course, yeah.
I'm not taking my mother to jail now.
Yeah, it sounded like a horrible experience.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So, when they took you from there, did they just said it was busting you? So obviously, it just following you, watching you. So were you like a flashy drug dealer? Like, do you think it was a jealousy thing or somebody ratting on you, or what do you think their reason was?
I was not well. You could. I, mean, I don't know if how you on like.
You had a nice car.
Always.
Yeah.
Jewelry. Yeah. But I wasn't flamboyant. I was just enjoying my life. Mm-hmm. I was just enjoying my life. That's all.
So why do you think they told on you?
Well, that person told on me thinking that her son was about to go to prison because he was pulled over in my car, mm-hmm. and they found marijuana on him. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they take you in, how was that process?
Well, when they came into the house and they did whatever they was doing or whatever, and I already knew I was going to jail. So Steven Seagal, I don't know if you're familiar with Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal was on the Jefferson Parish Police Department.
I heard, yeah.
So he pulled up at the house, and he was like, "Oh, this is the drug dealer." And the guy was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Do you want to sign to get on the Steven Seagal show?" I'm like, "Man, F you."
Yeah.
And I said, well, I don't know if should I say this on camera.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, I could cut it.
Well, when he said that, I said, "Man, fuck you, suck my."
Yeah.
Know,
okay.
Like,
that's
fuck
right.
you, I'm going to jail. I don't want to be on no Steven Seagal show.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
I'm about to go to jail.
Yeah. Like, yeah, can we use this footage right now?
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to jail, man.
Yeah. So you went to jail. Like, what was your thought process? Because, like, now you know it's your second time going in.
Honestly, my thought process was, Rock, how stupid could you be?
Yeah. Because
I didn't have that to do. Like, I'm like, it always happened. It's like funny. You didn't have that to do, and now it's a possibility that you're about to go back to prison. Don't know how long. I was just given an opportunity to be reunited with my family. Mm-hmm. I was only out there 9 months.
Yeah.
Like, that's no time at all.
Did you have another baby on the way?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know you said you got 4, so I'm just counting.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So you went to jail. So how long did you sit? Like, or how long did the court process take and all that?
I sat before taking a conviction, accepting a plea. I was in prison maybe like 21 months, fighting my charge.
Yeah, long time.
Fighting my charge.
Mm-hmm. And then how did that charge turn out?
I was given 15 flat.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me 15 flat years for 11.5 pounds of marijuana, which wasn't regular marijuana. It was perp. Called it perp at that time. Mm-hmm. It was maybe like, I was serving like a pound for like $7,500 at that time. So yeah. That's what they tried to use. They was going off talking about the street value and how much money I could have accumulated off it and stuff like that. And he didn't even stay out there a whole year.
Yeah. So they got like a rap sheet on you type thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. So how was that experience knowing that you're now about to do like 15 years?
Well, it didn't at the beginning. It was like I was thinking like, okay, 5 years. They'll give me like 5 years for it.
You can fight it.
The first time they offered me time, they were saying 20. And I remember me telling my daughter that, my baby girl, I'm like, they just offered me 20 years. My baby was like, oh no, Daddy, 20 years is a long time. Mm-hmm. I began to panic.
Yeah.
Catching anxiety.
Yeah. That's a whole like life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I accepted the 15 years, the 15 flat years, you know, my lawyer at the time, his name was Jim Williams, he was telling me that, he was like, man, they sentencing you to 15 years with the multi-bail. And this is your first time being bailed, so you're going to be eligible for parole. You just have to go up there and like do everything that you need that needs to be done. Mm-hmm. You know, for you to be, you know, come home and get that opportunity. So I'm like, okay, 15 years. Like, what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
15 years in prison. What I'm gonna do? And like when I first went upstate, I said, you know what, man, I'm about to get myself together, so that when that opportunity do come, you know, I'll become an opportunist.
Yeah.
And be one of those, you know, that'll get that opportunity to be reunited with their family. And that's what I done.
Yeah, so you did like programs and all that?
Every program that they had in prison, I done. Every program. I was in every program. I hung around nothing but positive guys, like Shane Johnson. It's a lot of Johnny Evans, Vernon Jones. It's a lot of guys who I surrounded myself by that I knew they would get the opportunity soon, because these guys had life sentences at the time.
Yeah.
Not Shane, but my other friends, they had life sentences, but they were putting themselves in a situation to, when that opportunity come, they'll have all the credentials and accolades that they need to, when they go before the board, they can get pardoned, paroled.
Yeah. So where did you first serve your time?
I went to a place called Winsboro. And of course I got shit from Winsboro because I put my hands on one of the guys. And then they sent me to West Carroll. From West Carroll, they sent me to Hunt. And I was shipped from Hunt in 2017 to Sherman Walker. That's where I made parole at.
Okay.
That's where I made parole.
So how do these fights go down?
In prison, in prison, there's a lot of disrespect goes on, and it's not done purposely. It most of the time it's beyond, like it be behind like basketball, football. And my mother have always told me that the truth be told through a joke. So, and if any time somebody say something out of their mouth to be slick about it, I'm not letting that slide.
Yeah.
Because you knew what you was doing. Yeah, you knew what you was doing. So anytime somebody would say something out their mouth, and I'm already have a complex, we're in prison, I don't know, half of you guys really don't care nothing about some of y'all.
Yeah.
Especially from the charges that y'all are in there on. And then I just be waiting, like they say something crazy, punch them in their mouth.
Yeah. So you'll just do it like out in the open, like y'all at lunch on the...
Well, the first time, when I was at Winsboro, I was drying off, and a guy walked in. He walked in front of me. I'm like, man, I'm drying off. I had my boxes on and stuff. I'm just drying off. I'm like, are you just gonna disrespect me? Just walking from me and not say excuse me? And the guy, he was like, man, he was from where I was in Winsboro. He was from Winsboro.
Okay.
So he like, man, you in my part of the town? Okay, all right. So I finished drying off, put my shoes on. I went back there. I said, yo, where y'all get it on at?
Yeah.
And the dude was like, man, right there in 187. I said, come on, man.
Yeah. And then you got caught from that? Like he was badly
I busted him up bad. And when the people came in there, they was checking everybody's hands. They were checking everybody's hands, and my hands were swollen. And it was like, come here. So they tried to rebook me, but I said, well, listen, if y'all going to rebook me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact my lawyer, because y'all had me in a pre-trial dome in front of all these parish prisoners. I said, I'm a DOC offender. I'm not even supposed to be around them.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, you know what, he right. We'll ship him away from you.
Yeah.
So they shipped me to West Carroll.
So were you boxing at any of the times?
Yeah, I started boxing when I got to Hunt.
Okay.
In 2000, I got to Hunt in 11 or 12. That's when I started boxing. Yeah.
So it was like a prison boxing, like the movies?
Actually, it's like I said, people perceive a prison, like their perception of prison is not what it should be.
Yeah.
It's real boxing. It's real boxing. I had the belt for a long time too. Yeah.
It was a real belt, or
a
like
real belt. Yeah,
okay.
A real belt. Yeah.
Thought y'all made it or something.
No. This it's LIBA, Louisiana Institution Boxing Association.
Oh,
they
I never heard of it.
Yeah. They sponsor it. So it's a real belt. You get medals, belts, all that. Yeah.
So you was like training every day. You was running the weights.
I would train every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
So what made you like to box in prison? Like, was it just because you was good at boxing, or just something you always wanted to do?
Well, I had attended a boxing match at Hunt, and I didn't think they did well. And I was telling that coach, his name was Coach Butler, Jerry Butler. I said, man, that boxing team trash.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, you wouldn't be able to do nothing with none of my boxers. I said, I can do something probably with your best boxer. And he was like, you crazy. So I said, well, what you want to do? Put a wage on it.
Yeah.
And he was like, he said, I got a $50 hygiene bag. I don't know if it was 50 or 100. He said, I got a $50. Yeah, I think it was 50. He said, I got a $50 hygiene bag that you can't do nothing with Gray Head. I'm like, okay, Gray Head your best boxer? I just watched him get the modesty.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. So what happened was he did an exhibition match between Gray Head and I knocked Gray Head out.
Yeah.
And all the wardens and all of them was coming like, man, you ought to join a boxing team. I've always been a fan of the sport, but I was like, so I'm going to think about it.
Yeah.
And one morning I'm like, that can be something you can be doing constructive with your time also, instead of always educating yourself.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm about to start boxing. And I started boxing.
Yeah. So how would the boxing matches work? Like, do y'all fight other prisoners there, or would they like
we travel.
Yeah.
Prison to prison. 9 times a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still something that's currently going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I seen something about that like on YouTube, but it was in another state.
Okay.
Yeah, like they had them working out and all this and that. But I didn't know that was something they did here. It's the first time I hear about it.
It's real nice too. Well, down here in the prison system, they travel with all like sports like basketball, football, baseball. Yeah, they do it all.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Prison is not what people.
Yeah.
But it's not. I'm not going to say it's cool to go. But prison can make you. It can do 2 things for a man. It can make you out of a better person. Or you just gonna become worse.
Yeah.
So
you say you served 12 years?
No, I served 8.5 years.
Oh, 8.5 years?
11 altogether.
Oh, 11 altogether.
Yes.
Okay. So during that 8 years, like, how was that process for you mentally?
It was. I'm not. I didn't have a hard jose. My jose was real easy, but it was always like think about my kids.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like, I'm not going home tomorrow, but I'm going home.
Yeah.
So every day I would always think about my kids, and I would get emotional thinking about my kids, and then my mother is sick. So it was like, man, I cannot believe, like, I've really put myself in this situation again. But this time I know for sure. Yeah. And when I get out, I'm not coming back. Yeah.
How was visitation?
I would always get visits.
Okay.
Like my dad would come. My youngest daughter, mother, she would always bring my daughter up there.
That's
and
good.
then she would bring my oldest daughter up there too. My oldest son mom, she would come up there and stuff like that. So it was just easy. The visits was great, but the hurting part is having to just leave them.
Yeah.
When they say it's the visitation over. I remember one time when my oldest daughter came, she had a $20 bill. And she went and walked up to the guard. I immediately started crying too. She walked up to the guard and she said, "Hey, can I pay you these $20 so that I can stay a night with my dad? I just want to stay a night with my dad."
Yeah.
And I heard that. I immediately broke into tears. I said, "No, never again."
Yeah.
No.
Well, it was like y'all had physical visits, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, the visitation, like they come sit with you and eat with you and stuff like that.
Because some, of course, I don't know if it's due to COVID, but I know a lot of places you can't, like, do, physical visits.
Well, COVID did sabotage that, but before, only time that would happen is if you're in a parish jail. Okay. Because you do visitation through phone and a glass. Yeah. But other than that, it's physical.
Yeah.
It's physical.
Okay, so how was it leading up to you coming home? So, like, you had a lot of certifications, and you knew you was coming home. So, mentally, where were you at then? Like, you're like, I'm about to come home and get a job, or?
Well, I mean, I knew I was going to come home. I basically knew everything that I wanted to do before coming home. But it was like, I lost my mother right before I came home.
Oh.
51 days before I came home. And it was like, it's now or never. I know I'm not going back out there and sell drugs. I don't want to experience this again with my kids having to come visit me and leave me, and I have to talk to them on a phone and stuff like that. I didn't want to experience that no more. Yeah. I put it in my mind. I used to tell guys in prison, because hospice, I'm certified in hospice, CPR, all that. Yeah. Yeah, I took that class. I took that class because I wanted to find a way to show compassion. Be a passionate person for others that you don't know nothing about. Yeah. So that changed my whole perspective of life and doing prison time. And I knew, I said, no, I don't want to come back. I don't want to experience this. I don't want to. I got tired of people that's way younger than me telling you what to do, and you have to be in compliance and all that. And I didn't want to experience that anymore.
Do you care to speak on like the process of your mom passing? Like, what's it like over the years? You were like knowing that she was getting sicker and sicker, or
Well, she had been sick. My mother had been fighting a disease. It's called COPD. It's a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It's emphysema, and she had been fighting it since like 1998.
Okay.
So when I went to jail the first time, that was one of the things that was always on my mind, being afraid to lose my mother.
Yeah.
And then my mother was so strong when I came home. She was like, I told your mama was going to be here. And then she did tell me she was going to be here this time around, but she wasn't. She could no longer hold on. But it was real rough, because I would always think about, like, every time I go to bed, I would think about, will this be the day?
Yeah.
Will tomorrow be the day for us? Stuff like that. So it was very mind-boggling.
So did she, was she able to see you up until a certain point? Like, then it got really bad?
Yeah.
I know you said she was on, like, oxygen already.
She was supposed to come see me. I hadn't seen her. I seen her in 17. But 2018, on my birthday, January the 19th, she was supposed to come see me, but she took sick. She was real sick, and then she wound up getting hospitalized right after that. So she wasn't even able to come see me. So I was kind of like so disoriented behind the whole situation.
Yeah.
Just waiting on my moment, waiting on my opportunity, hoping that it can come faster. Because I knew that I was going to make parole.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've done everything that I needed to do in prison, so that when the opportunity come, like I said, you know, that they couldn't. There was no way I can be denied.
Yeah.
But it was just a process. So.
Do you feel like that's something you got to grieve through today? Like, you had time to, like, get past that, not being able to, like, I'm sure you wasn't able to attend a funeral and things like that.
No, I did.
Okay.
Actually, you know, where I was shipped at, I was the first out of parish prisoner that they allowed to go to the funeral.
Oh, that's a blessing, yeah.
Yeah, because of my character speak volumes. And when I first got there, you know, and I had a conversation with those people, and I told them that, you know, the things that, you know, I wanted to do and my vision and stuff like that. They knew that I was different. I wasn't an ordinary offender.
Yeah.
You know, so they put me in trustee and stuff like that. They would always come talk to me. We would exchange insights about certain things. And a lot of those people, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of them. All those people over there took a liking to me. They took a liking to me, and when that happened, they was actually about to let me go to the hospital. They was going to sign off for me to go to the hospital while my mother was living, but she wound up getting out of the hospital. So, but when that happened, it was like, wow, you know.
Yeah.
But they did. They let me go to the funeral and stuff like that with no shackles.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, none of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you was able to attend a funeral. Cause I know, like, if she would have passed and then you wasn't able to experience that, then that might be something that, you know, you still dealing with today. So, so then you got out. You got reunited with your children and things. So did you just go ahead and pursue boxing, or did you try to start working?
No, I was working and I pursued boxing.
Okay.
Actually, I was blessed with a job at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. I was a supervisor with laundry, and then I wound up switching my position and became an engineer overnight. Yeah. So it was. I mean, but I still pursued my boxing career. I had signed a contract with Latavia Robinson. She was the former original singer for Destiny's Child.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I signed a 2-year contract with her. Everything was doing good. I mean, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
So how long have you been boxing professionally?
6 years since I got out.
Yeah.
Since I got out.
What keeps you going?
That drive, that voice in my head, and just that voice from my mother saying, you know, son, you can do it.
Yeah.
Just continue to keep striving. You know, and so I just listening, just hearing it, like, I'm proud of you. That keeps me going. I mean, and besides my kids, you know, my kids keep me going regardless. But it's just the fact that I know that my mother, when she found out I was good in the sport, she would always give me some good words of advice, and she would encourage me. Yeah. You know, just if it's something that you like, just give it your best. Yeah. So that's why I continue on going. So
you've been out 6 years. Have your record stopped you from being able to do anything?
My record hasn't. No, by the grace of God. Yeah. My record hasn't stopped nothing. You know, so.
So you had another child.
Yes, his name. That's who just called me. His name Baby G. He's a junior, Garrett Jr. Yeah, he's 5 years old. Okay. Yeah. So I came home in 2018. His mother wound up getting pregnant, and we had him in 19. Yeah. Yeah.
So y'all never married, or?
No, we never met.
Okay. Any reason?
We're not together.
Okay.
I mean, different channels of life.
Yeah.
Separated our physical togetherness. But, I mean...
Do you have all 4 children have different mothers?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish it wouldn't have been that way, but...
Yeah.
Don't judge
Do you
me.
want more? No, I mean, we just, Do you want to have any more children?
I want another daughter. Mm-hmm. I want another daughter because, my 2 daughters was my first and second born. Mm-hmm. And I was in prison, but I was still active with them.
Yeah.
But I want another daughter, and I want to name my daughter Promise.
Okay.
Because I'm never going back to prison. Like, I'm never going to leave. Like, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. One more.
So what do you feel like that you do different, like, to stay out of prison?
To stay what? Out of prison?
Yeah.
I no longer surround myself with those type of people that I used to surround myself by. I no longer desire the things that I desired when I was in the game.
Yeah.
So that keeps me away from things like, and then always thinking about the times that I was in prison, like how many lives, like, I've watched just go down the drain, smoking mojo, stuff like that, and me being in hospice. 17 people died on me. 4 of them I built a relationship with. So those are the things that I just be like, nah.
Yeah.
Can't.
What was one of your, like, darkest moments you feel like you had being in prison?
My darkest moment?
Or darkest day for you, like, that you can just remember?
I didn't have no dark days.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. My prison term was just... It was smooth, it was smooth. But I remember this was my darkest day. Yeah, I did. I remember in 2016, I called home, and my dad, he was saying, man, it was September 2016. He said, man, mama disease it got worse. The people said there's nothing else that they can do. I'm like, so what are you telling me? He said, you gotta start preparing yourself. Preparing myself for what?
Yeah.
I'm hoping he's telling me to prepare myself, to be coming home. He's like, man, you gotta prepare yourself, because he said, man, we might lose mama. I'm like, how could you tell me that? I said, well, I'll talk to you later. So when I got off the phone with him, I was just so heartbroken, because at that moment I'm thinking I'm about to lose my mother. So I went and talked to my mentor, and his name was Vernon Jones. He just came home too in February. So
okay.
I'm so glad. And I'm crying to him. I'm like, man, I'm about to lose my mom, and stuff like that. And he was like, Aki, that don't go like that, man. He like, we believers. We true believers in God, man. God has the last say so, and et cetera, and et cetera. So I didn't want to hear what he was saying. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I'm about to lose my mom, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So he had posed a question to me, and it summed everything up, and it made me feel, I felt relieved. So he said, Aki, I'm going to pose a question to you. He said, because you're smart enough and you're intelligent enough to catch on to what I'm about to say. And I said, I posed a question. He said, who is he on earth that you would die for? And I immediately thought about my mom, my father, my siblings, and of course my kids.
Yeah.
So he said, this is the important question. He said, who is here on earth who you want to live for? And I immediately cried again, started crying.
Yeah.
And I said, that's crazy. He said, the same people that I died for, I want to live for. Mm-hmm. And he was like, that's what I'm saying. You have to live.
Yeah.
So, but that was a dark moment for me, because my dad, I'm like, prepare myself.
Yeah.
He was my mom. Me and my mom, my mother was my best friend.
Yeah.
And everybody knew, all my partners, my sister, everybody knew. Sharon and Rock, like this.
Yeah.
That was my girl.
How's your dad holding up today?
Maybe okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's life.
Yeah.
After being with a person for 45 years and being married 43, he's a strong individual.
Yeah, he gotta be.
Yeah, he gotta be. So he's strong.
But he had a beautiful journey and story, because a lot of people don't, experience that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So what about, I have a question. So with your siblings, how were they with you being locked up? Like, were they supportive? Did they come visit you?
Yeah, they were supportive, but, I was the type of person that I don't want anybody to stop what they have going on. to try to accommodate me by any way. I mean, I made my bed hard, I'm laying it, but my main focus was, man, take care of yourselves out there.
Yeah.
Your brother gonna be all right.
Yeah. So you always had yourself, and
All right, I got me.
yeah,
You know?
that's good.
Yeah, I got me. I've always had me. So, but they would all. I mean, they were supportive. You know?
Yeah.
I never wanted them to come. They came a few times, but I just didn't want. Nah, I wanted my kids all the time. Though.
Yeah. So do you feel like there's any habits that you still have from being in prison?
Any habits?
Yeah.
Prison is no. Prison is completely out of my life.
Yeah.
There's no habits.
That's
I don't
good.
do anything. I don't do anything that remind me of nothing that I've done in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I don't even like to talk about it, but prison made me who I am today.
Yeah.
Well, it made me part of who I am.
That's
It
good.
made me part of who I am because who I am is who I am.
Yeah.
I just had to go on, like, be confined to actually tap into, like, who I'm actually is.
Exactly.
So
So that's good that you didn't make it like shape you, and that's what you focus on. Like
Right.
you just being who you are 6 years later. You then moved on. Yeah.
great.
So what's your goals? Or what do you have like upcoming? I know you said you're training for a fight.
Right. Well, my goals towards what?
Like life, like what do you want to do? Do you want to like you have businesses you want to start or things you want to do? Or?
Well, I wanna have a trucking school.
Okay.
I want to have a trucking school.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to do, and I want to find a way to give back, and just not only just giving back to the community from the mental aspect of communication and stuff like that. I want to find a way to tap into our troubled youth.
Yeah.
Besides, like I'm saying, go and speak to them and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. No, we got to try to find a way. That's one of my main goals.
Yeah.
Try to stop all this that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you have people currently that like you kind of mentor and help, or?
I mean, a lot of kids in our gym, they look up to me.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of troubled kids that people that I know, their sons and daughters and stuff like that, they always call me and say, talk to Mr. Rock about things.
Mm-hmm.
He can tell you, what to do, or what you're gonna be faced with if you was to do this and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's always that.
That's good.
That's a everyday ongoing process.
Yeah, it's natural.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, do you want to speak about your upcoming fight?
Yeah, I fight at the Ponte Train Center September 7th against Steven Lyons. He's a strong opponent.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of tough. So I don't have no worries going into the ring because
Yeah.
I trust in God. But I just want to come out victorious.
Yeah.
That's all.
So, what is some discipline things that you have to do to prepare for a fight?
It's a lot of discipline things. You have to stay away from drinking. You got to stay away from sexual activities. All those things.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got to become celibate.
Really? I never heard that.
Yeah.
How long?
So about 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
About
6
6
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how long in advance do you get to know you're about to have a fight?
I've been on. I mean, sometimes they'll reach out to you, like you will get noticed. Maybe about 11 weeks, 12 weeks before.
Okay.
3 weeks, 3 months or something like that. Yeah.
What about eating and stuff?
Well, I mean, you gotta. If you're losing weight, if you have to lose weight for a fight, of course you have to change your diet and stuff like that. But I don't eat too bad.
Okay.
I don't eat too bad, so I stick to my normal diet. Yeah.
What weight class are you in?
I was in cruiser, but I'm going up in weight. I'm going up in weight to fight. So
What's cruiser? I'm
it's
not
like
really
cruiserweight is
educated.
like 190 to 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do
I'm
you have
not-
any worries? Nothing?
I
Yeah.
don't have no worries. I don't have no worries at all.
What's your rep thing? Like 20-0, all that stuff?
Huh?
20-0,
Like
what's
the
your
record?
Yeah.
I'm 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah, with 3 knockouts.
Okay.
Yeah. My biggest knockout came against George Foreman. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
George Foreman's nephew,
Okay.
Jonathan Foreman.
Yeah.
I knocked him out in the second round.
Okay. That's big. It's
Yeah.
on YouTube?
No, I never put anything on YouTube because that's how a lot of guys.
I'll watch you.
They watch it back out. They back out the fight. So I normally would post it on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it. Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you. Yeah.
What advice would you give to the youth, especially like New Orleans youth? Teens be out breaking their cars and skipping school, all that stuff. So, like, what advice would you give them?
Think about the consequences behind your actions. Be first to think instead of acting. And some of our youth, they react off of impulsive behavior and stuff like that. But think about how you're affecting families and stuff like that before you do what you're going to do or about to do or whatever.
Yeah.
So because putting yourselves in a situation to possibly go to prison for the rest of your life, or lose your life behind a senseless act of violence, a crime or whatever. You just think. You do more thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely appreciate you for coming out and doing the interview with me. And make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment down below. And make sure you follow The Lion on Instagram.
Kiara too dope.
Peace. Oh, yeah, it's going to be up there.
All right.
Peace.
All right.
DatPiff.com will premiere.